No, no. That's not your place.
You gotta ring the bell, Papa.
Well,
She already rang the bell. She said.
you know, let me tell you about how many figs I have to eat today. One. And it is, I don't know, the middle of October. And so, without any figs, well, we're going to resort to the next best thing down here along the seashore. Hey, get down over there. Crabs and spaghetti, fried crabs here. And they are absolutely exquisite. And Debbie's fantastic Italian crab pasta. These are prepared in a different way. We take the juice from these to make the pasta. These are prepared separately, and they're steam fried. It's a special technique that Debbie developed. It's very interesting, and they're absolutely exquisite. So what does this have to do with figs? Well, nothing. Who cares? Okay. Every once in a while, it's not going to have to be it's not going to be a fig video, but there are still some figs, and so I might as well get them in the video as well. I just wanted to point out something, though, about the figs. This is a variety, this JH Adriatic, and you know, it is the only variety here that has not ripened. And so now I'm putting my neck out on the chopping block again, as I often do, but I don't like the idea of late figs. You know that. You hear it over and over and over and over again in a reoccurring theme. Early. That's everything in the Northeast. But when figs just don't comply to my standards, unfortunately, I have to get rid of them. And I tried this variety, and I have other Adriatic types, Adriatic being green on the outside, beautiful red on the inside, delicious as a classification of figs. It's hard to beat them. They're delicious. But they have to be early enough to enjoy. Now here's a classic example, and I want to show this. I mean, the middle of October, and none of the figs have ripened. Not one. Now maybe somebody else growing this fig in a different environment, in a different microenvironment, or maybe it's a different variety, because they get mixed up. Let's face it, they do. But I'm certain that this came from a very reliable source, very reliable source. And there's no question that it's an Adriatic, because I ripened this before in a pot. It's been in the ground. I put it in the ground last year. And so I know that it is an Adriatic. And I have other Adriatics that ripen sooner than this one. And they're spectacular and they're delicious. I've featured them in my other videos oftentimes. And so it's just pointing it out. You know, it could be a little controversial, but there might be some people that disagree. That's fine. It's my opinion. But whatever it is, and I know it is an Adriatic, as I said, I confirmed it before. But whatever it is, I'm not pleased with it. Because if the figs aren't going to ripen, what is the use? You know, what usefulness is there in even bothering to grow the variety? And I've got a lot of varieties here, and every single one of them, as you can see, is finished. Not unlike my last video that I just posted a few days ago, Nitty-Gritty Figs in a Nutshell. You can see that this tree is devoid of any fruit whatsoever. They're all gone, which means that, you know, they ripened early enough to enjoy them. And the same with this, the same out there. There's other varieties out there. The same with this variety. I'll walk down here. The same with, well, there's one straggler fig left on this one. This is or Marseille's Black. This is another fig tree that came from Italy. I talked about before. I'm not going to bring up too many details about it now. But as you can see, the deer have been nibbling at it, but it's all finished. We go over here to a hardy Chicago, and it's rather large, and there are just a few fruits left. This is the one I ate from today, up there, if you can see. But most of the fruit has long since ripened, as you can see, and that's what we're looking for. And here I have a few on this variety. Not many. This is XL, Iracondits XL. It's one of the first humanly hybrid figs ever, back in the 50s, by one of the greatest fig people, fig experts in the world, Iracondit. And this XL, and I featured this before in, let's see, the video, Oldies But Goodies. And I would encourage you to watch that video. It's a really good video, and it talks about this particular variety. But you can see that 95% of you can see that in previous videos that this fruit tree had tons of fruit, but 95% of them have already ripened. And here's the other Adriatic from my uncle. My uncle gave me from Taormino, Italy. And this Adriatic has long since ripened its fruit. And it's been in the ground in equal time. And it's a beautiful, beautiful tree. And you can see there's not one single fig remaining on this Adriatic. It's an early Adriatic. I've mentioned this to other growers because I think this Adriatic is special. I really do think it's special. The taste is tangy. It's one of the most delicious Adriatics I've ever tasted. It is early enough, even in ground, to eat, especially in this particular location. Here's another Celeste that I started. It's a Chincoteague for Celeste, and I started it from another local tree. So let's go over here, and we'll just go over here to the Sultane, and there are no figs remaining on this. Okay, so we don't want figs like that other tree that I showed you at first that has plenty of figs on it and none of which have gotten ripe, and that happens. And when you see that, either grow it in a container or get rid of it. Do yourself a favor. And so many figs fall into that category. I want to encourage you to abandon figs like that, and don't be taken in by a lot of these varieties that are being offered. Just avoid them, because you're going to be sorely disappointed. You don't want late varieties. You just don't. They're just not worth the effort. And there's just few exceptions to that rule. I'll leave it open. And of course, if you live in a different climate, then of course it's a different situation. But here I have my Peter's honey, and it made so many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of figs. There's a few left, not many, but 95% have all ripened. Okay, this is a very prolific tree. I've featured this several times. If you want to go back and look at them, look at the videos. It's a magnificent variety. But 95% of these figs are all finished. And remember, it's the middle of October and a little bit of an Indian summer before Halloween, and these are still ripening. Okay, yesterday I did have 2 of these, and when I arrived at night, the night before, I got, I think, one good one, and the birds had gotten into a couple, but these are still ripening, so that's okay. If you have just a few left, if you have a small percentage on your tree left, and they're going to continue to ripen, because it's not late November, you know, I mean, middle of October, if you get certain breaks in the weather, is fine. Now we have this hurricane, the remnants of this hurricane coming up, and it's supposed to be hitting us late tomorrow or the next day. So we're going to have a lot of rain, and so I'm not too encouraged about harvesting any more of these fruits. It's not likely that even if I do, that they would be of any quality that I'd be interested in. Here's a little Ronde Bordeaux, and if you look at this little Ronde Bordeaux, I think I saw, there we go, one remaining fruit. Okay, there it is. But it yielded its fruit long ago, and that's what our target is. Okay, so I'm finished with this theme for today. I don't want to drag it out as long as I did on the last video, but I wanted to make some points about that. Avoid late bearing fig varieties. Avoid it. They're just not worth the trouble. And many of them, when they do fruit, they're fruit in the cold weather or chilly weather. They're not going to be as good as when they fruit in July, or August, like many of the varieties that I've selected over the years do. They're not going to be as high quality. And a lot of varieties, even if they're great varieties for taste, if they're really late, very often, because it's cold and it's rainy and you're not living in California or Arizona, they crack, and they just go to waste. It's just futile. It's a futile, wasted effort. Concentrate on the varieties that are suitable to your climatic region. That's what you need to do. That's a formula for success. I can tell you, I've grown figs for years and years and years and years, and that is the formula. And I'm trying to help those of you out there that are trying to get a foothold in this hobby, this wonderful hobby. Don't waste your time. Okay? Don't waste your time on a lot of these varieties that aren't going to pan out for you unless you live in a particular region of the country, or you have the facilities or the microclimates in which to grow them, a greenhouse, etc., etc. Don't waste your time, because there are at least, I would say, there are at least 15 varieties, and there are more. But remember, I'm not including, when I say this, I'm not including a lot of varieties that really are the same variety, like the Mount Etnas, because most of them are all the same. I mean, there's not very much difference in them. There's a slight difference, and it's sometimes worthwhile pursuing. Okay, I've made some recommendations in the Mount Etna types several times on my videos, and if you get those, I think you'll be satisfied in the Northeast. But if you just narrow it down to one or two varieties that are, say, the Mount Etna types, hey, there's a creature. Look at that. I wonder if I can get him, let you see. It's right down there. There it is. See that? It's a bird. Some kind of a wren. Can you see him? Can you see him down there? Beautiful. Oh, there he is. Come on out. Nobody's going to hurt you. Come on out. Come on out. We got all kinds of creatures around here. I love this place. Anyway, getting back on theme here. Yeah, if you just count one or two of the Mount Etna types, you got another 13 varieties, 12, 13, 15 varieties that are very suitable for the Northeast. So concentrate on those 15 varieties. Concentrate on them, and then venture out and try some other varieties, and especially if you have the facilities, okay, to grow them. All right, so remember, here we go again. Here it is. Look at it. You just saw all my fig trees here, and you can see that it's the only one that has all of its fruit still on it, unripened. No good. You're out of here. Don't have time for you. I could dig that up and put a good variety, a productive variety there instead. All right, now back to the I would say the most important subject of today, which is dinner. A wonderfully, fantastically, that's a new word, I just made it up. Dinner prepared by Debbie. And Debbie, do you mind if I say hi to you in this? I know you get mad at me when I do sometimes. But what's this over here? Oh, more crabs? Oh, wow. You're hiding these from me, huh?
Well,
Trying to keep me from eating too many of them.
You have them for later.
That's not going to work because I'm going to find them. These are
They're not
beautiful.
hidden, they're just keeping,
Okay.
keeping them warm.
They're beautiful. Keeping them warm. Okay.
I thought we're hiding food.
Are you ready?
It's terrible.
Come on, Penny Pop. Oh, she's ready.
Ringing the bell, ring
She's
the
ringing the bell. Okay,
Ring
it's
it.
dinner time. It's dinner time. Okay. Okay. I'm coming.
Ring it.
All right. I'm coming.
Come on.
Okay.
Aw.
She's amazing. She rings the bell. Every time there's, she gets excited too. All right. With that,
There she goes.
thank you for visiting. I hope you enjoyed this video.
Time to eat, Papa. Come on.
Good day.